Welcome to the Preeminence Daily Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew J. Peters, founder of Ascend. Be sure to grab your ultimate guide to preeminence at preeminence.tv. Today we're talking about you, the master programmer. So tune in, listen up, and get ready to take a focused action on your mission, message, and presence to create accelerated results starting right now. Something about me that most people don't know is I have notebooks upon notebooks upon notebooks of notes and ideas and going to seminars and inventions and lyrics for songs and ideas for movies. I have stacks of notebooks and I never look at them a second time. Rarely do I ever open a notebook a second time. And so I have all these notes. And recently, I was going through some of my notes, and I saw this list, and the list was things that I wanted, things that I had as goals, things that I had as dreams. And as I went through it, my jaw dropped because of all the things that were written down that had come true. It was really hard to explain because some of it just seemed so serendipitous, like I couldn't have planned those things. I didn't see how that would be possible. It was just an idea. Even more recently, some really big things have happened in my life. People have come into my life, partnerships and events. And I look at the things I asked for, things I wrote down on a pad of paper saying, here's what I want. And I just started drawing things out. And I realized that I was programming my future. You may think this is a little bit kooky or spacey or anything, but I'm just telling you what happened with me. And I know other people this works with. Now, I have done futuring training, and that's more specific training, but there's also a place you get into in your mind where you decide this is what you want. You basically cut off all other things and saying, this is what I want, this is who I am, and you become congruent with it in your thoughts, your actions, your words, and things just congeal and they come together. That's kind of a simple way of saying some of the things that futuring can do. But when I see little notes that saying that this is something that I want, and I see a month, a day, 2 months, a year later, it happens. And the strange thing is that it happens on the date that I thought I wanted it, but I didn't remember doing specific tasks and work to get it. That's when it gets really crazy. You see, the more I understand not just goal setting, but becoming congruent with the person and the thing that you want in life, you're going to not only attract these things into your life, but they'll solidify. Meaning you're not just going to see things fly by you or say, oh, wouldn't that be interesting if? But when you actually believe that it's something that you want, it's something you can attain, something you start moving in a direction just a little bit towards, it's like the universe conspires in your favor and makes things happen that you want. Wayne Dyer says, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And really the thing I see that is the difference between you right now and the person you want to be and the things you want to have is you. It's not like all these people that you don't have access to right now. It's not the funds that you don't have access to right now. It's not the training you don't have access to right now. It's you realizing that in the future, if you choose to do and be that person now, you can have it right now. The only thing that takes time is you realizing in your mind that you already are that person. The only thing that's going to be different about you today and you in the future is your attitude, your beliefs, and you're realizing that you can. It's the hard work, but it starts with the idea. The idea backed by the emotions and the words, sharing it with key people who will support you, taking those small steps, people saying, hey, you know what, you should talk to so-and-so. When they see that you have worked things out and you have details and you've seen what you want to create and you know who you need to become to have those things and to be in that position, and they trust that you will actually become that person and you are that person, you're realizing it more and more every day, they will introduce you to people, to situations. They will invite you to places where they're okay with you representing a part of them, with them putting their stamp of approval on you. And things will happen so much faster. if you believe, and just start moving a little bit. You don't have to dedicate 100 hours a week into doing something. When you just start moving a little bit in that belief and you just start moving on faith, and you keep clarifying that vision of what you want, and you make that vision bigger than you have space at the table for other people to be a part of it, for them to have some kind of say. That's when things that are truly amazing will happen. When you put dates to those dreams and make them a goal, that's when things happen even faster. I had one thing that I wrote down in February that I wanted to have by November 1st. And I found this piece of paper, and November 1st, something extraordinary happened in my life. It was the thing that I wrote down. I didn't know I was programming my future. I didn't realize that the thoughts and the words and the conversations I had were actually programming my future. If you look at your life as an operating system, you have the ability to program in what you want. If you don't program in what you want, other people are writing the program for you, and you're just following the program. Literally television programming at school, programming in your church. It's programming. You need to reprogram it. You need to clear the slate and choose what you want to program into your future. It starts with deciding what you want to create, writing it down. And the more detail you have, the more it will come into fruition in that way. There's a couple things about a big thing that came into fruition or manifestation, whatever you want to say, came to be, that were different than I thought. And I realized I didn't clarify that part of what I said I wanted. I didn't clarify a location or a size or a speed or some other clarifying adjective or just clarifying in my own mind what I wanted. It came into fruition almost exactly as I thought. Actually, it came into fruition exactly as I thought, but not as I clarified. I needed to go through and clarify each step. So now for my next major thing that I'm creating, I'm getting even more clear on every single little aspect of it. Sometimes you'll say, I want to create a business that makes $1 million a year. And then you realize it took you $1.5 million to make $1 million. Or you say, I want to, feed all the children that are homeless in my city. And you realize you didn't say that you need to make a living at it. So you still have to work full time in a job that you really don't like. And you're able to complete some of that as you move forward, but you're always struggling between having to work this full-time job just to survive and doing this mission in life. Clarify specifically what you want to write. Imagine someone writing a program on a computer and then leave out big chunks of it. Think about all those simple pieces of software where hackers will find the weak spot and they'll go in and they'll implant viruses. That is what happens to your future when you don't get specifics in your clarity of what exactly you want. Get super clear on every aspect and have a date to it and start moving in that direction and start acting as if you are already that person. It is not a fake it until you make it. It is acting as if you are already there internally. It's the being before the doing, before the having. So many people just focus on the do so I can have. They forget about the be, and it is so much hard work. It's so much struggle, and you can overcome some of that by just being the person and realizing that in your future, if you do the work, you'll be that person. Now shorten the gap between that person you know you need to be and the person you are today, and just lift yourself up. Elevate yourself to that point where you're closer to being that person, making the faster decisions, and knowing exactly what you need to say, who you need to talk to, who you need to employ, all those details. The more you have the details, the more confidence you'll have in what it is you want to create, and that's when things really start happening fast. You have to trust me on this. You got to believe me on this. Start doing this. Your action step is to know exactly what you want. Start clarifying it more and more every moment of every day. Live into that and know that you need to become a different person to have something truly remarkable in your life, something greater, far greater than you already have today. You need to be a person far greater than you already are displaying right now. I'll talk with you tomorrow. This daily podcast is all about you becoming the preeminent voice in your marketplace. So take the consistent and necessary action each and every day on what you've learned over the last few minutes. When, not if, when you're ready to take your business, your organization, your name, your brand, and your commitment to the level of preeminence, head on over to preeminence.tv where you can download your own copy of the Ultimate Guide to Preeminence, enroll in the Elevation program, and join us on one of our next live events. If you're not subscribed, simply visit iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play right now and click subscribe. Until tomorrow, make today and each and every day count towards creating preeminence in your space and a legacy that matters.